It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Pop down home bargains. I seem to be doing a lot of these kind of bargain basement shop beers lately. But this is going to be a good one, I think. This is definitely going to be a good one. I'm a big fan of this brewery. Hawkshead Brewery, Route 590, West Coast IPA, coming in at 5% ABV. When I first started reviewing beer in 2010 on YouTube, Hawkshead Brewery were one of the breweries which were kind of lighting things up back in the day. They were one of the early breweries setting faster slap after faster slap. They were doing great things. And then, for whatever reason, they kind of fell off the radar a little bit. I don't know the reason. I don't live in the area. I don't know the story. Perhaps a head brewer moved to a different brewery or something happened. Perhaps they weren't really nailing their social media. They were relying on their, as you would have done back in the day. Because this was slightly before social media was a big thing. It wasn't like the top of people's priorities. It was kind of word of mouth back in the day. So perhaps they kind of relied on word of mouth, which is absolutely fine. But they're back. They seem to be back. And they seem to be... I mean, in the last year alone, between 2021 and 2022, I've probably reviewed about 3 or 4 different Hawkshead Brewery beers. And they've all been good. That's the main point here. They don't seem to have lost any of their quality. You know, remember back in the day where you'd order a box of beer from you'd subscribe, they were like subscription services. My Brewery Tap or Ales by Mail, you'd pay a monthly fee, you'd have a box of beer delivered to your house. That sort of thing would probably work this day and age. It was just, I think these guys were way too early in terms of what they were trying to do. There weren't enough people interested in beer back in the day, but I think there would be now. If somebody set up a beer subscription service now, well, I'm pretty sure there's probably some out there. I think Flavorly are probably still going. But anyway, back in the day, you'd always find a Hawkshead beer in a beer subscription box. One Finger Whitehead, hazy, very light amber coloured beer. Not too much. Yeah, this small carbonate, a little bit of carbonation rolling up the side of the glass. It's a little kind of, you can see towards the top of the beer here, you can see there's kind of a little bit of sediment floating at the top of the beer, which is interesting. It's got a great head. Let's get the aroma. Yeah, it's, I mean, I think I paid something like £1. It was either £1 or £1.20 for this beer. It wasn't much money at all. But it's delivering. It's delivering on the aroma. I can feel the smile on my face as I smell the beer. It's piney, it's grapefruity, it's orange peely, it's kind of, yeah, good stuff. A little bit of malt in there, a bit of biscuit malt as well. A bit of mango and pineapple. Should we dive in? Cheers, everybody. Yeah, this is a proper, they seem to be making a bit of a resurgence. This is a proper old school American West Coast IPA that has that kind of lovely rampaging bitterness on the back end. This is something I know and love in terms of style. I love this West Coast of America bite, that bitter bite on the back end. It's a lovely drinkable beer as well. It's got a lovely mouthfeel, a little bit of sweetness to begin with to balance off that bitterness on the back end. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth. Excuse me. Inside of the mouth while I'm scratching my mouth. Yeah, I think this is an attempt by Hawkshead Brewery to say, hey, you know, we're still here, we're still producing great beer. Because they are. They are producing great beer for me. I think what's happened, maybe, is, and the reason why this beer has found its way into home bargains, is it's probably a bit of a victim of this New England IPA style of beer. Lots of people over the last few years have got into beer through New England IPA. These super soft, super juicy, mango, passion fruit beers that are terrific. It's a terrific style, but there's next to no bitterness. So I think this is a beer that this is doing exactly what it says on the tin. This is an American West Coast IPA. But the trouble is here, for a newcomer in beer, for somebody who's new to beer, there's a lot of confusion between East Coast New England IPAs, West Coast of America IPAs, and it all becomes a bit muddled. It all becomes a bit confused. The buyer buys it and thinks, oof, what's this rasping bitterness? What have I got here? And then, of course, the beer ends up in home bargains. I think that's what's happened here. It's a little bit of a kind of not lost in I've been dying to use this word, but it's not the right phrase. Not lost in translation, because it's not lost in translation, because it's doing exactly what it says on the tin. It's nailed the style, the West Coast of America IPA, that kind of rasping bitterness on the back end. I think you guys know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, the New England style, people are used to drinking it. They're used to no bitterness whatsoever, and this has a rasping bitterness. But it's not an East Coast of American IPA, a New England IPA. It's a West Coast of American IPA. This is more of a kind of Sierra Nevada Torpedo or a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale back in the day, or a Stone IPA back in the day, with that bitterness. I think it's really, really good. It's juicy, it's tropical, there's grapefruit in here, there's orange peel, there's tangerine flavours. There's a beautiful balance, but it's just kicking in now. A beautiful balance between that sweetness to begin with and that lovely rasping bitterness on the back end. I hope they carry on making this, Hawkshead. I hope they carry on brewing this beer, because I like it. I like it. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone's taste. If you're not into these whacking great bitterness beers on the back end, this is not for you. But it's for me. I like it. I like the rawness of it. I like the kind of the almost kind of toughness of this beer. An American style IPA that's all about the hops. Dry and crisp with aromas of orange, lemon, passion fruit and papaya. 5% ABV. For me, if anybody from Hawkshead are watching, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you're on the right track. There's so many breweries brewing New England IPAs now that the whole... It must be a point where it's difficult to sell the stuff. If everyone's brewing it, then what chance have people like me got? You know, who likes I like both styles of beer. But if everybody's brewing New Englands, then I want a bit of difference. I want a bit of change in my beer. I want something slightly different. I don't want to drink the same style over and over again. And that's where Hawkshead comes in. If you're looking for something a little bit different, try Hawkshead Route 590 West Coast IPA. I like that. For the price, I think it's a staggeringly good beer. For that £1 or £1.20 I paid early 2020, well, that's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.